Happy Monday, everyone.
Happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day, vacation day.
Woohoo!
Welcome to Lord and Lady Muffin Tops vlog again for this week. We didn't get to it yesterday. It was a long day. We knew we had a holiday weekend, so we decided we'd just do it today instead, make it an end of the week kind of thing. So we'll publish today and call it good.
Yep.
We're going to start off with our results like we do every week, just really quick on that. And then we're going to talk to y'all about road trips today. We love a good road trip, the two of us. So we're going to talk about some of our tips and tricks and things that you might want to consider on your next road trip. So we'll get started with the results. I'll go first, and then Candice will go next. So this week, I was down 0.7 pounds. It was a decrease. We're happy about that. Not looking back at what I ate this week and what I chose to track and didn't track, it wasn't... I'm surprised I was down, but I was down. So that's a good thing. We're moving in the right direction. It'll just take me 20 years to hit my goal if I keep going at this pace. So this week is a new week, and we'll get there. Step goal, I figured out that on my fitness watch, it wasn't what I was showing you each week was not necessarily an average number of steps. Garmin just sort of whatever you did yesterday adds like 200 steps to it. So it sets a goal for the next day. So I started tracking on a spreadsheet. So Candice will put the numbers from that up somewhere in the video or in the comments below, whatever's going to be easiest for her as she edits. But I actually increased my average from last week by 80 whole steps. So again, a step in the right direction. I'm going to have to move my average up by more than 80 steps if I want to get to 15,000 by next September. But we'll get there. I had a couple days where I had 12,000 steps and that kind of thing. So definitely steps in the right direction. We're doing what we need to do, and we just need to do it a little bit better. And when I say we, I should say me.
Well, it's legitimate. And you also have been kind of fighting a cold, you've said.
Yeah, just the last couple days.
Yeah.
Probably since Friday is when I started feeling like I could be just one of those really tired kind of weekends. Took a couple naps, which I normally don't do as much as I love them. I usually don't do that, but I took a couple of them this week.
And for whatever reason, it seems like even though it was a long holiday weekend, we seem to have a lot packed into this weekend. And I don't know if it was because it was long that we did so much, but we didn't really have a chance to just be.
Yep.
And I think that's important on weekends if you have the time to just kind of recharge.
Yep, exactly.
So, for my results, they were not stellar at all. I'm actually really disappointed, but I know it's my own fault. The scale said I went up 5 pounds. Looking at the food that I ate this week and the things that I chose, that's not realistic. I mean, I think a lot of it had to do with sodium and water retention, but I don't think there's... it's a number. It's a data point. I'll move on.
Yep, that's all you can do. When you're on a journey like this, I encourage everybody who's struggling with a weight loss journey not to get frustrated by the number on a scale. All it is a data point that tells you something. It's up to you to discern and figure out what that data point tells you. For any of you math nerds that are watching this, you know that one single data point means absolutely nothing by itself. It's the trend that really matters. So are you moving down as a trend? Are you moving up as a trend? Are you staying flat as a trend? That's why you look at overall. And we're only a month or so into this.
Right.
So it's hard to tell trends after 4 or 5 weeks.
Right. So, that's that. Let's talk about fun stuff now.
Let's talk about fun stuff. Yes. So we were talking about what we wanted to talk about on this video, and we have a road trip coming up. So we live in Nebraska, and we are taking a road trip down to
Orange Beach, Alabama.
Hopefully it's not backwards as you view it on the video. But yeah, we have a family reunion. My side of the family is having a reunion down in Orange Beach the first weekend in October. So we are going down there and going to have a good time. And flights are ridiculous. Like for us to go down to Orange Beach as a family flying regular economy, just the two of us was going to be darn near $1,000.
And that was for 2 days. We're only going to be there for 2 days.
Right. So that's a tough pill to swallow. We had to weigh that against using PTO to road trip, as one of us is close to being out of PTO. So it's we had to decide. Was
it was
2
a
extra days
decision.
of PTO, or is our time worth more than that? And we decided that the destination was not necessarily what this was all about. It was going to be about the journey too.
Right.
So we're going to be in Orange Beach for a weekend, but we're going to turn it into close to a week worth of just spending quality time together.
Yeah. And I mean, we've done the drive before twice now.
Yeah, it's about 23 hours, something like that.
Right. And that's taking into account getting out and stretching and just kind of recollecting, because I don't know about anybody else, but when I ride in the car for so long, I either go to sleep or I get really punchy. Like, I want out of this car. I want done. So,
or both.
Yeah. I'm flying home. I'm not driving home. No. But yeah, I think that's with stopping and allowing ourselves plenty of time.
Yeah. So what's our plan? Our plan is we're going to rent a car. We have a good car that would make the trip for sure.
Yes.
But we're leasing, so we want to. It's a fairly new lease, so we want to be careful of the miles.
I don't want to put all that on my car.
Yeah. It's 2,000 miles, something like that, round trip.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So it's not a ton of miles or anything, but why put those miles on your car when flights are $1,000? We're going to be able to rent a car for $150, and that's going to be somebody else's wear and tear, somebody else's problem. If it breaks down, somebody else has to pay for it. We get in another car and go. So that's our plan, is to rent a car. I was fortunate enough that I have some hotel points, so we can make some stops along the way, and it's not going to cost us anything. So instead of $1,000 flight, it's going to be a $150 car rental, plus whatever it's going to cost us down in Orange Beach for the family reunion. So
right, plus time.
Yeah. So you should tell the story about the last time we rented a car or the time before last when we rented a car to go down there.
Yes. Wasn't it the first time that we both went down there?
Yes.
Okay. So I had never been to Orange Beach before, and I was iffy about going, because when we were going, it was in the middle of the winter. And forgive me, but Alabama. I mean, you don't think pretty blue water and white sand when you think Alabama. But anyway, I love it. I adore it. The state is wonderful and the people are amazing. That I learned on our first trip down there. Prior to that, we had decided, okay, we're going to rent a car. And we got to the car rental agency. They set us up in a brand new, I don't even remember what it was, make and model, but it had in-transits on it. And what we found out during this trip is that every state has different placement for in-transit stickers. Yes. So we go rolling down the road. We got stopped for the first time in Memphis, Tennessee. It was raining. It was late at night.
Like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night.
And we were just about to the exit to our hotel, and all of a sudden the lights go off in my rearview mirror, and I'm like, I wasn't speeding, I wasn't driving recklessly, what is going on? And this female officer comes to the side of the car and shines her light in and was like on edge. And she's like, where are y'all headed? What are you doing? Let me see your registration. And I'm like, all we have is the rental agreement because it's a rental. And she's like, well, where are your plates? I'm like, well, there's an in-transit back there and one in the front window. She's like, oh, you're from Nebraska. Go on. So after we got done with that shock, the next day we headed into, oh boy, geography is bad right
Mississippi was next.
Mississippi was next. Yes. We got stopped there. We got stopped in Georgia.
No, we don't go through Georgia. We go through Arkansas, part of Arkansas.
Okay. Tennessee. Missouri, Arkansas, Tennessee, Alabama.
Yes.
Mississippi.
Mississippi, yes. We don't go through Arkansas, it's Mississippi.
Right.
Yes.
Sorry. But we got stopped in Mississippi and we got stopped in Alabama.
Northern parts of both.
Yes.
So, like, as soon as we crossed over into Alabama on that trip, it's like pretty much the lights came on right behind me at that point. Mm-hmm. But by that point, we knew exactly why they were pulling us over.
Right.
So when Bubba approached us chewing his tobacco and spitting out on the street beside us,
it was classy.
We knew exactly what we were doing. So we had the rental car paperwork, and he's like, "Where are y'all headed?" Orange Beach, nice area. Why you going there? My mom Winter's down there. Oh, okay, let me see your stuff. And he just looked at it, handed it, didn't even go back to his car.
No.
He just looked at it, handed it back to us and said, be safe. And then followed us for probably 5 or 10 miles before he turned off. But they were all super nice cops.
They were.
The only one that scared me a little bit was Memphis, because we were in the city and you could definitely tell that she thought she was going to have to draw her gun at some point, because it was dark. It was dark tinted windows.
It was rainy
a car with no plates. That
right.
You think about a police officer's job, that raises a whole bunch of red flags.
Absolutely, and we totally understand. And by all means, we are law enforcement officer supporters all the way. So, we commend them for doing their jobs as well as they did. It was just a really funny experience that we laugh about now. Prior to that, I had never been pulled out. Well, once. Once. But that scared me to death. So I was about in tears 4 different times on the way down. But lesson learned.
We survived.
We did.
We made it.
We did.
So a couple other things. So rent a car, just so you don't have to put miles on your own. Tip number 2, pick your music wisely.
Yes.
If you're in a rental car that doesn't necessarily have access to like a Sirius XM or something like that, make sure you think about those CDs. You're going to be in the car a lot, and radio stations can be hard to find. Now with your phone, it can be a little bit easier, especially if they have audio ports. We just got a data plan on our cell phones that's unlimited. So now if we run into that situation, we can just plug our phone in. Listen to Pandora, listen to Sirius XM through our phones or whatever in the car. So make sure you plan your music wisely, especially if you don't have some of those plans.
Right.
What else from a road trip?
From a road trip.
Remember, it's the journey, not the destination.
Yes.
Take your time.
Right.
Stop when you want to stop. Do what you want to do. If you see one of those historical markers that looks interesting, stop. You take the time. You do, like for us, we do have a time that we need to be down there. But we're going to make sure we take the time. If we want to stop for a long sit-down lunch, we'll stop for a long sit-down lunch. We want to make sure that we take our time getting down there so we're safe. And just so we enjoy it. We're doing it so we can spend time together. It's not all about the family reunion. It's an opportunity for Candice and I to connect a little bit, and just spend some close proximity in a way that we know is not going to drive each other nuts.
Right. We sound like we hate each other.
Sometimes, right? You giggled at something.
I did. I was thinking about stopping for a long leisurely lunch and the keys.
Oh, yes. So here's my this will be our last story before we end it today. So my bright shining moment of blondness, I will say. Hey. Okay, we'll call it stupidity.
Okay.
So we're road tripping down to Kansas City with some friends. We're following them. They're coming from one city. We're coming from another, and we're meeting up on the interstate. We're talking to them on the cell phone, and we're going to meet them at Rockport, which is in Missouri. So there's a restaurant that like our family has stopped at for years and years and years. We love to stop. So we meet them there. We haven't seen these people in probably a year and a half. So we're excited to see them. So we get to the parking lot. They get to the parking lot about the same time. We hop out. We do hugs. We do all of that kind of stuff. We go in for lunch. We take probably an hour and a half for lunch as we just catch up, and
we caught up, and the restaurant service was really slow, even though they weren't very busy. It was just, but it's one of those very laid back places that if you're sitting there for lunch, you don't mind taking an hour and a half for lunch.
Right. Yeah. So we were just having a good time, and then we get ready to go, and I'm like,
"Give me the keys.
Give me the keys, Candice." She's like, "I don't have the keys. You were driving." I said, "I do not have the keys. The keys are not on my person." I was starting to get frustrated because, like, I only can carry keys in so many places. Look in your purse because I know you have them. So she did. She looks in her purse. She doesn't have them. We're like, okay, I wonder if they fell out, if they're, like, sitting in the parking lot. We get out to our car after an hour and a half of lunch to find the car unlocked and running. I was so excited to see these friends that I didn't take the time to turn the car off. I just put it in park. I got out. I gave hugs. We went in for lunch, and I left the car running.
With all of our stuff.
With suitcases, money orders, not money orders,
Traveler's
but
checks.
traveler's checks, all that kind of stuff that at that time we traveled with. And they were all in the car, all still there.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing, like, I'm sure people that walked by and heard the car running were like, okay, they're going to be back in like 35 seconds. Nobody is stupid enough to leave their car running while they walk away for that long. But I was stupid enough to leave our car running for that long.
Mm-hmm.
So don't do that. That's tip number 4 on your road trips.
You know where your keys are at.
Know where your keys are and turn the car off before you go in someplace.
Yes.
Okay, that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up. Tell us some of your road trip horror stories or road trip fun times. We'd love to hear about it. Put it in the comments below. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you'd like. We'd love to have you. And we'll look forward to talking to you next Sunday. We're still trying to think through our Disney Cruise Line tips and tricks, what we want to do with that. So probably next weekend we'll do that. We just have to dig through our pictures and stuff. So thank you all so much.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Have a great week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.